Hey, how we doing?
Pretty good, man. How are you?
Good. Let's get
Nice.
started.
All right, sounds good.
So talk to me about the divorce itself. When did it start, and how did it affect you and your family in the very beginning?
Well, the divorce happened like 2019-ish, and for the most part, we all went our separate ways in the beginning. Like, I would always be in my room, all my brothers would be in the room. My dad actually moved out to an apartment in like 20 minutes away from my house. It was kind of hard to talk to my mom. She was always angry at something, and my dad was in money problems at the time too. So it was very difficult time when it started.
Did you notice a change in attitude amongst your siblings or how your parents treated you separately?
Well, change in attitude in the siblings was actually different from what most people would think. It actually made us closer that they went through the divorce and all, because it made us bond over a similar thing that happened to us all. And I actually keep in contact with both of them quite well nowadays. I used to not really talk to them as much. We find it quite nice, actually.
All right. Most people, when going through their parents' divorce, face challenges with custody and being forced to see one side more than the other. Who do you typically see more often, and how does that affect the things you do?
Well, the house actually went to my mom, so everyone lives at the house. My dad lives in an apartment, like I said, and usually we hang out with her more. It hasn't really affected us, but I know it's affected my dad a lot, because he's actually wants to sell the house now, and he actually wants to either sell it or take it himself, because my mom wants to move to Connecticut. So it's definitely a spicy situation right now, to say the least.
How did your parents splitting up affect not only their financial situation, but also yours?
Well, they never really had money to begin with when it happened. That was one of the main reasons why they divorced, because my dad would never bring in the money. And still the same way, very struggling. It's tough to pay for college. I have to ask for my grandparents for money for college and all. And I actually had worked for like 3 or 4 years, saved up a good amount of money for college and stuff. So it hasn't really affected me too bad, but it's affected my parents for sure.
Okay. And I know you were talking about your grandparents helping out with the money for school.
Mm-hmm.
But what are your current sources of income? Like, how are you able to pay for school right now without a job and without as much support from your parents as you're used to having?
Well, student loans. Student loans has helped me a lot, and going to One Stop's great, actually. They have all the information they could have. I went there for like weeks at a time. I think you saw me, I went for weeks.
Right.
But mainly student loans, and I had a lot of money saved up from working through high school, and I had a few thousand.
Nice. What sacrifices have you made to save your money throughout college?
Well, I've been definitely not going to fast food a lot, using the meal plan as I should.
Right.
Definitely spending less money on myself, not really buying as many clothes anymore, not spending as much on my girlfriend, and really budgeting, making my own food at the dorm, just doing whatever I can to save a buck.
Right. How has your financial situation affected your so-called college life? Does it stop you from doing the things you want to do every day?
Not really. I'm not really a guy that needs money to survive, to say the least. Money's not that big a deal in my life.
Right.
But it's definitely been a struggle sometimes when people want to go out and you're like thin with money and you don't want to spend that much and you have to say no.
Okay.
It's definitely strange at some points.
Yeah. How do you plan to move forward and earn money even after everything that has happened?
Well, I actually plan to get an internship either this summer or the next semester. Paid internship, hopefully. But that should bring me some money and get my foot in the door when I want to start my career.
Right, that's good. Did the divorce help you improve yourself after looking back at what happened?
Honestly, it did, in the way that made me focus on myself more. Because it made me realize that family and friends go through rough patches, and I need to get my space from them at the time. Right. That's why I moved up here into college, and it's been great actually living by myself and not worrying about them, to say the least, because they do bring a lot of problems, and they always want to talk and about. My dad and my mom always just talking about how they hate one another and stuff, and never getting along. Okay. They can't even call each other anymore.
Right. If there was anything you could tell someone that is going through the same things that you have, what would that be?
Well, Carson, I would tell them to not let it define your life and use it as a stepping stool to improve yourself in the future. It's something that sucks, but it will improve you as life goes on and make you the person you want to be.
Okay. Yeah, thanks for coming in.
And that's it. It was a
Appreciate
pleasure.
Appreciate it.